All right. It is now time for raising funds for World Domination, day number 243. Oops. All right. So once again, for the daily update, there are no changes on any of these items. And we'll pick up the stream with where we left off yesterday. Let me just move that up so it's not vibrating every time I type. Okay. Okay, last night I figured out why the screen layer merging was not working correctly for the frame updates. And it was because I was not considering the change region. So I just added a change region for the entire bar. And the thing I noticed at the end of the last stream was that the lower frames are not showing up. They don't show up at all. Orthoplex 64, how's it going? Why am I not able to select text? Does that make that bug go away? All right, frame is still gone in that one. When did this start to break? Oh man, this was supposed to be just a quick fix. says hi. How's it going? It's almost acting like the right and bottom border. It's just not being printed. Alright, let's just do some tests. Okay, no bottom border at all. I also find it weird. Normally I could select this if I quit. Now I can select. Is there some new weird bug? So there's no rightmost border. Is he calculating the width wrong? Scroll bar goes down here, so I think there's another column down here. And there's one missing here. Maybe I'm calculating it wrong. No, I think that's right. Let's see, does this version have the bug? Okay, that looks okay. We don't see the missing frame. And that's fine. So something in the last commit broke it. Okay, that has the same code. See if that gets rid of the bug. The frame disappearing bug. Oh, nice. $20 from, I think that's WR logo, probably. Or I guess it'd be nice if it, I wish YouTube would show me the whole name. Thank you very much for the $20. Merry Christmas. Truly enjoy your videos. Thank you very much. Yeah, unfortunately, I need to get more videos out. Yep, WR logo. All right, the frame issue looks like it's gone. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also have the frame highlighting. It's broken. So when you select a new frame, it doesn't show you. Oh yeah, I forgot the other check. So I think it still has the regression width. Updating the background when the text gets smaller. Yep, so that bug is still there, but now I know how to fix that. And I think I can fix that with okay, moment of truth. There we go. That fixed it. Now the only issue is the frame highlighting. Not quite sure why it didn't work before, but it works now. Okay, the next thing is figure out why when I change to a new frame, why it's not updating the highlight. I guess that would make sense because right now I'm only initializing those once. can't remember where I actually set that. Keep crushing it? I will. Thank you. On frame change. There's enough of this code here now. I'm starting to like almost forget what it all does and how it works. How's the monetization going? Is a shorter live stream helping with productivity? Yeah, it has. I've been getting a bit more done in the longer form videos. Yeah, I guess I don't know, it's so hard to figure out how the monetization works, because I thought I did 100 live streams with the monetization off because I thought it didn't matter, and then that seemed like it was tanking the channel metrics, and then like it was like the day after I turned monetization on the live streams back on, immediately the channel metrics went up and like the revenue was like 3 times higher next month. So I thought, okay, that's the key. I have to like do monetized live streams, even if they don't make a lot of money. I think it just pulls it. It just, I don't know, triggers something in the algorithm maybe. But then this month I've kept doing them, and overall the channel activity's been kind of flat. I don't know, I guess Linux is not really it's not a Christmas thing. Hello, Robert. I'm warm in an alpaca poncho. How do you stay warm in Canada? It's a good question. I guess a lot of people still burn wood if you live in the country. I don't know, various ways. Bundle up, I guess. If you've got the right idea. Monetization gives them data to refine their distribution. Yeah, I assume that's probably it. Or maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it might be something to do with like the terms of service or something. I actually kind of wonder if I kind of wonder if the main value that YouTube derives from like all this video and content and stuff is not even it's not even the ads. It's like some second order thing. It's from like, if you can actually ingest like all the programming tutorials and the scripts and stuff, like the actual knowledge and like data mining at scale you can get from YouTube. I would imagine that's incredibly valuable, and also like surveillance and stuff, and having like, I mean, I'm sure the government is also very interested in like, you know, if people start uploading lots of videos from a particular location at a given time, I'm sure all that there's like tons of use cases and contracts there with the government. Built a channel search engine that indexed YouTube captions. Could find any word you said live ever, any phrase. Sold it to Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. Oh, did you? You actually sold it to Jordan Peterson? Wow. That's it's a random fact. I did not expect you to report that. A channel search engine indexed YouTube captions. Really good at business. Nice, apparently. That's interesting. What was his well, I guess YouTube gives the captions, doesn't it? So you can probably just scrape them. Like you could probably even scrape them with curl, couldn't you? And then just like puts them in a file. And just scrape automatically. Yeah, I guess well, I guess if you're doing it live, that's also depends what kind of response time you need. Why did Jordan B. Peterson need that? That's so Solar backend. Okay, guess that's the framework. Not familiar with that. Built it as self-development product. Indexed people's channels. Peterson's audience responded the most. Solar is reverse index search, basically an index in the back of a book. Vladimir's Kaya 33 says, "Hi nerds, how's it going?" Okay, I can't remember how this works. Next frame. Frame change. Voice. Why must consciousness be made of matter and not light? That's kind of a good question, actually. I mean, technically, at like a subatomic scale, those all basically all particles are kind of just like a soup of probability density clouds. So on like an atomic scale, they're kind of basically the same thing. Although there might be some. I mean, we don't know what the smallest quantum of consciousness is, but it might be something that actually, if it requires a certain chemical reaction, then it might necessarily require, like, if it requires a chemical reaction, then it needs at least a few atoms. So it can't be pure light. But then again, you could have other forms of consciousness, so who knows? Volume of the cloud is much larger for light. Photons are also massless. Yeah, quantum. I guess you'll be categorized under quantum physics, or like the standard model. The intricacies of that are pretty interesting. There's what was it? There's something. There was some other analog of, like, was it mass or chirality or something? And then where there was man, I'm not gonna say the thought. Don't remember it enough. Matter is basically already light. Nucleus is almost all mass of an atom. 99% of nucleus mass. Nucleon mass is just binding energy. Plus fermions have equivalent descriptions as massless particles. They're kind of constantly turning into each other. Constantly turning into each other. Yeah, that's another interesting aspect of physics. How, like, particles can kind of just come into existence and disappear randomly. Which if you are the universe programmer, would you choose massless or mass-full particles to encode the higher things in life? No offense to anyone. No offense taken. I don't know. That seems like a random question, like a kind of non sequitur question. I don't think about these questions. Honestly, I think if you were the programmer of the universe, it almost seems like you'd think about, you'd have higher priorities than that. That seems like an unimportant detail. Because if you're programming the universe, you just program it however you want. You can use consciousness entanglement to debug. As a Java programmer, I'm skeptical of these claims. Okay, the thing I need to do here is, this is, it's calling the initialized frames. When the dimensions change, that's correct. I also need to detect when the focus has changed. I'm actually not sure if I have a way to do that. do it. I know another software engineer that did it too before he retired. Other engineers would get him to scan their code and just meditate until the bug flashed in his mind. I'm highly doubtful. That sounds like the kind of thing that would be interesting to do a rigorous scientific analysis to try and debunk that. This is actually kind of an interesting dilemma because I don't actually think I have a signal for that. Actually, I can probably just pack this with a flag. Do a scientific analysis to prove it. I'm not sure if you can do scientific analysis to prove non-existence. I think you could. I mean, if you do, like, you can distill it down to. You can have like a finite number of bugs or some like kind of easily verifiable, has bug or no bug, and then get the person to meditate. And then if they have, if they're statistically speaking, if you do like 30 plus, 60 plus samples, and their idea about like if their judgments are no better than guesses, then I think that disproves it. Entanglement could work very well. If some type of observer clause where it becomes less likely, the more decoherence. All the Schrodingers online finding out their Neopet cats died because of a bug. I don't know. So you're associating quantum mechanical entanglement with detecting bugs in software. I don't know. Do we even have a good enough model of like microscopic quantum mechanics? This seems like at the edges of physics. There's tons of things that we don't understand well, and people associate metaphysical things with them. But I'm extremely skeptical of any of that. Okay, this is sending the focus change. Okay, I guess that might work. Just stuffing a parameter in here. Schizo chat. Yeah, it's I think it's on the verge of what is. There's some. I mean, it's some interesting. It's like almost some stuff I would disregard, but there's it is interesting to think about like the macroscopic. Whether there are macroscopic impacts from entanglement. Sabina Hassenfelder, I think she has a video on like macros. Does quantum entanglement have macroscopic effects in the everyday world? But I don't know. I think meditation and stuff. It's fun to think about, but I don't. I don't think it's. I don't think there's anything scientific there. I think the boundary condition where something is true, but highly suspect skepticism must be used delicately. Yeah, I think extraordinary. Like if you can pin it down to an experiment, that's when you could like completely convince everyone. But it's super easy. Like there's an algorithm for like fantastical metaphysical stuff where like just take any physical concept where it's right at the boundary of our knowledge, and then take something that we don't quite understand, and then over extrapolate on that, like quantum gravity or something. Like you can say like what if thoughts are you can read people's minds with quantum gravity or something like that, because we don't have an idea, we don't have a model for quantum gravity, so you can kind of make up whatever you want. Most likely thing to me is that space-time itself is made of quantum entanglement. And the question isn't why entanglement permits non-locality, why anything is local at all. I think we need more and better science experiments. Like I think it was even well, I guess since you guys are interested in nuclear physics, I assume you guys have watched the Fermi Institute has a YouTube channel, and I binge watched that for a while. It's like this. There's basically no good authoritative sources on like how how fermions behave and stuff. And there's a lot of I think there was a video on there that said recently, like within the last few years, they discovered a new result from like a more complicated version of the double slit experiment. And I think if we're still discovering new things from just like laser and prism experiments, then I think we have a lot more. There's just a lot more experimentation to do. There's way too many people just write textbooks and do math all day. Not enough people making the experiments in the lab and measuring things. Nature designed valves to preserve time. I can't make sense of that statement. Okay, a dilemma I have is when the attempt to write fails. I have to send back a rejection. Oh, that would actually be in here. Try to find that Fermi Institute video. Yeah, I don't, have you seen that that YouTube channel? I think if you just search for like Fermi Institute for Theoretical Physics, they have a bunch of if you want to get up to speed on the latest in the standard model, that's where I found it a lot. Bell's theorem guarantee non-locality. Locality is an illusion created by shadow, literally shield yourself from all the entangled non-local light. Yeah, Bell's theorem is pretty weird. I don't know about it being an illusion. I don't know. I'm under my depth in this theoretical physics. I mean, it seems like the kind of thing that could somehow be like, there's just some like electromagnetic effect, like nobody ever thought of, and it actually doesn't prove non-locality. And everyone is, for years and years, people have just been explaining Bell's theorem wrong. Shadow is created by matter, which causes light to decohere. I don't know. I can only do one thing at a time. I can't posit about theoretical physics and program. It's too much for my brain. Okay, let's try with this. Oh yeah, did I name that consistently? Frame, change, work item, params. Frame, yeah, focus changed. 624. True. thing you weren't a computational physicist. It's different. I guess if you're doing two at once, it's easier. The proof of Bell's theorem is impressively general. Richard, I don't know how to pronounce that, has a very in-depth research video on it, and I mostly didn't understand. Yeah, I've got some. It's interesting because you can. Well, actually, yeah, if you want, like, you could experimentally verify it. Actually, that was an idea I had for a YouTube video of like how to experimentally verify Bell's theorem. I think I've got that right. Bell, the one with if you send light through polarization filters at certain angles. Tried simulating nonlinear physical dynamics in Clojure with some STL library. Pretty challenging, but fun. Point being, there probably is not just some mechanism people haven't thought of. Yeah, I guess it's probably... Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. There could be, like, it could be some aspect of like two things that we thought were different things are actually one thing. But like I said, we need more experiments. I think of like if you took like the simple examples with polarization filters, and just create more variations on that experiment. And I also think, I think quantum computing will actually lead to breakthroughs in physics, because once people start like trying to compute stuff with atoms, and then the calculation doesn't work, and they're gonna, that's gonna, the way you debug your quantum computer is gonna be like, okay, we'll just initialize this thing. And then you'll end up with one of those moments where, like with like floating point math, you'll have like, you'll have an if statement that's like, if 0 plus 0.000001 equals 0, then prints this thing, and then it prints, and you're like, after a long process, you reduce your program down to that, and you're like, oh, okay. This really small number, according to the program, is equal to 0. And then you learn something about how the computer works. Okay. That might do what I want. Experienced meditator, was meditated up to 8 hours a day. Got into meditation because Steve Jobs created his reality distortion field to meditation, credited. Started meditating and directly experienced what? Autobiography of Yogi and Be Here Now discusses. literally met the Nobel Prize winning team this year because I got the urge to smoke during meditation, and my body told me to go ahead and buy a pack of cigarettes. The Nobel Prize winning team because one of the members picked up smoking prior to escaping to Venezuela with the help of Marco Rubio. That's a very specific story. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I don't know. That sounds so specific. It almost sounds made up. $8.73. Yeah, I guess now that you met your let's see, I have trouble following that. So you started smoking. Met the Nobel Prize winning team. No, Nobel Prize winning team. Nobel Prize winning team for what exactly? Aren't Nobel Prizes given to individuals, not teams? Picked up smoking and almost instantly met this guy. Spent hours discussing philosophy, politics. He was the one that told me the Nobel Prize winner. Who the Nobel Prize winner that year was. It was his team. Bought my house in PA. had to fly out to Europe to accept. Yeah, he had to fly out to Europe to accept the Nobel Prize. Oh, that's pretty random. Okay, frame focusing is fixed again. And let's see. All right, and the border issues appear to be resolved. Nobel Peace winner was a politician of the Venezuelan opposition party, and the politician's campaign manager husband became my acquaintance and friend. What was his name? This Nobel Peace Prize winner. Does that have something to do with the whole war in Venezuela that's going on right now? That's like massively escalating. Didn't talk to Macondo, but his leadership team. Random. Ironic that you were working on focusing. Oh yeah. Well, that works. I guess. Let's see. I've been busy the last few days, so I haven't thought much about the content for tomorrow and the next day. But I guess tomorrow I'll figure out what will be the next thing to work on. Oh yeah, actually something else I should do is and eventually it'll be necessary to send input. So I want to be able to do open frame and then open connection, and I need to have a generic user interface feature for typing text and inputting stuff, and that does not exist currently. And actually there's going to be a bunch of changes necessary because for example, if I go on any frame right now and press Q, it exits game. So that means I can't type the letter Q. So I'll have to modify that. All right, I guess I'll leave it there for tonight. But in my hour. So we'll be back tomorrow night for day, I think it's 244. All right, have a good night, guys.